Good day, guys. It's Mr. Prince, Maths and Science live stream tutorial session. And this is February 11th, 2026 session. This is the sixth tutorial session we'll be having. And this session is mainly for students in grade 10 to 12. Everybody's welcome to the live stream. If you are from grade 1 to 12, you are welcome to the live stream. If you have any questions from your assignment to whatever topic you are doing in school, you are welcome to the live stream. Like I said, this live stream is purposely for students in grade 10 to 12, but everybody's welcome. So I can see one person has joined the live stream, and you can just say hi to me on the chat box. You can just send a hi to me on the chat box, so I know who's on the live stream now. And we are going to start with something very soon, but I just want more people to join in before I share my whiteboard. I would like to see more people on the live stream. And I can see somebody. Hi. If you're on the live stream and you want to just say hi to me on the chat box, you can just say hi to me in the chat box. I will appreciate that. Um, and I believe that this live stream is not it's just going to be 1 hour. It's going to be I'm going to be teaching topic. If anybody from either grade 4, 5, 6 join the live stream, and I will just switch to the content of whatever my viewers is on the type of viewers I have on the live stream. That's the kind of content that's the kind of topics I'll be talking about or I'll be teaching. So it depends on who is on the live stream. Even if I see any students, maybe grade 6, 7, 8, and they are struggling with math topics, and I will explain topic math topics that is related to that grade. Okay, so it just depends on who is viewing the live stream and whichever grades are on my live stream. And I'm open to answer any questions that is sent to me in the chat box, and I'll be happy to get anybody's question. And before I go into deep, I'm going to share my whiteboard. I remember in the last live stream I had for grade 10 to 12, I was talking about logarithm. I couldn't do so much because I was started with lots of indices, and then I did logarithm. So I'm just going to continue from that. I'm going to do more examples of logarithm. So and sorry, I'm going to I want to share. Let me share this to somebody else too. I'm going to share this to somebody else too. Okay. I'm expecting Miss Stella to join the live stream. I believe she will join the live stream very soon. I'm coming. I'm just trying to check one or two things. I'm going to share my screen very soon. I'm going to share my screen very soon. I'm just trying to share the live to some other people. Okay. I'm also going to share it on LinkedIn too. I want to share this live stream on LinkedIn too. I want everybody I want everybody to be able to get the live stream wherever they are. So those who are on the live stream, just hold on. I'm just trying to share the live stream to some other people. I'm going to share my whiteboard very soon. Okay, I know I still have let me just give me a minute before I share my whiteboard. Let me share. Okay, so let's start. Let me share the whiteboard now. Share my whiteboard. If you can see my whiteboard, you can give me a thumbs up if you can see my whiteboard. If you can see the whiteboard, you can give me a thumbs up. I would like to see, I would like to make sure that everybody can view my whiteboard. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Okay, let me just go back to the moment. Okay, now I have two people on the live stream. So I want to I want to make sure I'm only showing only one window. Okay, I can see four people on the live stream. So if you're on the live stream, you can just say hi to me. You can just say hi to me and just in the chat box. So I'm sharing my whiteboard now. I don't know if you can see the whiteboard now. Okay. Okay, it says that it's blank. So I'm going to share my whole screen again. Just give me a minute. I will share my whole screen again. Let me share my whole screen, entire screen. Okay. So I believe everyone should be able to see my whiteboard now. Okay. I believe everyone should be able to see my whiteboard now. So now I'm going to continue with logarithm. So like I said, I was doing logarithm um the last time I was doing the tutorial section with for grade 10 to 12. That was on February 4th, last week Wednesday. So I'm going to be continuing with logarithm. So I'm going to, and I told you that there are four laws of logarithm. We have the product law, see the laws of logarithm. So this is February 11. This is February 11 we are in. This is February 11, 2026 session. Okay. This is February 11, 2026 session. And I was talking about laws of logarithm, okay? The laws of logarithm. And I'm going to write it out again. So in the laws of logarithm, I talked about the product law. So we have the product law, okay? And the product law says that when we have log x, y, base a, we have the same base. Then we are going to split it into two. So this product law, these powers and this exponent will become the relationship between them will become a plus. So that will be we are going to split it into the same base in two sides. So that will be log x base a plus log y base a. Okay, so this is what the product law, this is what the product law signifies. So number two, we have the quotient law. The quotient law. Okay. And the quotient law says that if we have log x divided by y base a, so there will be minus separating these two exponents. Okay, and because they have the same base, so the quotient law says that we'll write it like log x base a minus log y base a. Okay, and the third law I talked about was power law. So we have the power law. Okay, we have the power law, and the power law states that if we have log x raised to power n base a, log x raised to power n base a, so we can bring this n to the other side. So that will be n log x base a. Okay, so that's it for the power law. The fourth one is the change of base formula. Change of base formula. And the change of base formula says that if we have log b base a, it can be divided into log b over log a, but they must have the same base. Okay, so now we can make the base to be log c, to be base c, sorry. So that would be log b base c over log a base c. Okay, so that's it. So that's it. So those are all the laws of logarithm. These are all the four laws of logarithm that you need to know. Okay, so I'm going to do some examples. And the first example is log x base 3 is equals to 4. Log x base 3 is equals to 4. So if we want to find x, now we have to find x in this question. We want to find x, the base, the and the one at the other side of the equal sign. This one will be the exponent or the power, and then this one will be under it. Okay, so now I'm going to write it like this. It will be x is equals to 3 raised to power 4. Okay, so this one is going up, this one is also going up, but when we write it out like this one will be up and this one will be down. Okay, so that will be equals 3 base 4, 3 raised to power 4, sorry. So that's 3 into 4 places. So that's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 9 is 81. Okay, so that's it for x is 81. So another one, we have log x minus 2 base 3 is equals to 2. Okay, so in this case it will be s minus 2. We are still going to do it like the way we did this one. This one will go up, this one will also go up. Okay, so that will be equals to 3 raised to power 2. Okay, so that will be x minus 2. 3 raised to power 2 is 3 times 2 is 3 times 3, which is 9. Okay, so now x will be equals to 9 plus 2, which is equals to 11. Okay, so that's it for that question. So let's say we have number 3 to be log 5 into x minus 3 is equals to 2. Okay, we have log x minus 3 base 5 equals 2. It's still the same way. So that will be log. So sorry, we have taken out the log already. So that will be x minus 3 is equals to 5 raised to power 2. Okay. So now when that will be s, that will be x minus 3 is equals to 5 raised to power 2. That will be x minus 3 is equals to 25. So x is equals to 25 plus 3. That will give us 28. Okay. So now I'm going to now give an example that shows the product rule. Okay, the product rule. So we have log x base 2 plus log x minus 2 base 2 is equals to 3. Okay, so when I say that when you have two logarithms that they have the positive sign separate them, this is you multiply the powers together, the exponent together. So in this case, it will be log x times x minus 2 base 2 is equals to 3. Okay, so that will be x into x minus 2 is equals to 2 raised to power 3. Okay, so 2 raised that's equals to 2 raised to power 3. So if we use x to open this bracket, that will be x times x is x squared. X times minus 2 is minus 2x. Okay, is equals to 2 raised to power 3 is 2 times 2 times 2. That's 8. Okay, so we have x squared minus 2x minus 8 is equals to 0. Okay, we have x squared minus 2x minus 8 is equals to 0. Okay, so in this case, we can find the we can solve factorize completely by factorization method. So we solve it by factorization method. So the product is a times c. This is a, this is b, this is c. Okay, so that will be x squared times minus 8. So that will be minus 8x squared, and the sum is the one in the middle, b, which is minus 2x. So now we're going to find two factors that if we multiply those two factors together, we should get minus 8x squared, and if we sum up those two factors, we should get minus 2x. And that's why you see I call it product sum and then the factors. Okay, so the two numbers that we can use, if we multiply 4 times 2 will give us 8, but now we need minus 8x squared. So one number has to be negative, the other has to be positive. So we do minus 4x times 2x, we should get minus 8x squared. And if we sum up minus 4x times plus 2x, we get minus 2x. So therefore, we can see the factors are minus 4x and plus 2x. Okay, so now let's insert it into the middle. So now we have x squared minus 4x plus 2x minus 8 is equals to 0. So x can divide x squared and 4x. That's the common term between both. So x squared divided by x is x. Minus 4x divided by x is minus 4. And then plus 2 can divide 2x and minus 8. So now we have plus 2. 2x divided by plus 2 is x. Minus 8 divided by plus 2 is minus 4. Okay, so we have s plus 2 is equals to 0, or s minus 4 is equals to 0. Okay, so that will be s is equals to minus 2, or s is equals to 4. Okay, so s is equals to 4 or minus 2. Okay, so another example we can do, number 5, we can also draw another. I want to draw another example on product rule again. So we have log x plus 2 base 3 plus log x minus 1 base 3 is equals to 2. Okay, so now let's use product rule. Okay, let's use product rule. So if we use the product rule, we say that means log, it will be log x plus 3 times x minus 1 base 3, okay, is equals to 2. So that will be x plus 3. Sorry, it is x plus 2, not x plus 3. My bad. So it will be x plus 2 into x minus 1 is equals to 3 raised to power 2. Okay, and 3 raised to power 2 is equals to 9. So now let's open this bracket. X times x is x squared. Okay, x times minus 1 is minus x. Plus 2 times x is plus 2x. Plus 2 times minus 1 is minus 2, which is equals to 9. Okay, so let's collect the like term. So x squared, okay, minus x plus 2x is plus x. Minus 2 minus 9 equals to 0. So we have x squared plus x minus 11 is equals to 0. So looking at the fact that we know that 11 is a prime number, okay? So there's a possibility that we cannot get two numbers that will multiply to get 11x to 11 minus 11x squared. So in this case, I'm going to solve it by quadratic formula. So we know that the formula and the quadratic formula is s is equals to minus b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Sorry, minus b plus or minus root square root of b squared minus 4ac. So in this place, a is equals to 1 because we are writing the coefficient of x squared, x, and minus 11. So a is equals to 1, b is equals to, sorry, b is equals to 1, and c is equals to minus 11. Okay, so now when we put it inside this quadratic equation, that will be s is equals to minus 1 plus or minus 1 squared minus 4 times 1 times minus 11. Okay, all divided by 2 times 1 is 2. So that will be s is equals to minus 1 plus or minus 1. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 11 is 44. So that will be 1 plus 44 over 2. Okay, so s is equals to minus 1 plus or minus root 45 divided by 2. Okay, so we can solve this by surd. This is surd, root 45. Root 45 is a surd. Okay, so if we are to find root 45, root 45 is 9 times 3 is root 40, will give us, sorry, not 9 times 3, 9 times 5 is will give us 45. So the square root of 9 is 3, so that will be 3 root 5. Okay, so we can say s is equals to minus 1 plus or minus 3 root 5 over 2. So that will be s is equals to minus 1 plus 3 root 5 over 2, or minus 1 minus 3 root 5 over 2. Okay, so we can leave the answer this way. Okay, sorry, let me go back to my. So we can leave the answer this way. Okay, so now I'm going to do one more question. I want to do something that's a little more complicated. Okay, let me do something that's a little more complicated. So we have another one, log 3 into x 2x, sorry, x squared minus 2, okay, is equals to log, let me put 4x minus 4 base 3. Okay, so now when we look at these two logs, this is log 3 is equals to x squared minus 2 is equals to log 4x minus 4 base 3, sorry. So because they are equal logs, they are equal arguments, so we can cancel these logs. Okay, so therefore it will be x squared minus 2 will be equals to 4x minus 4. All right, so now let's bring this to the other side. We have x squared minus 4x minus 2 plus 4 is equals to 0. So by the time we finish manipulating it, we'll be getting a quadratic equation. So that will be x squared minus 4x plus 2 is equals to 0. So now the product is 2x squared. The sum is minus 4x. Okay. So now we have to look for two numbers that if we multiply together, we'll get 2x squared. And if we sum it up, we'll get minus 4x. Okay. So in this case, it looks like it's going to be something that might be a little impossible, because the only factors of 2 that can multiply 2 is 2 times 1. 2 times 1 will give us 2. Okay. And I don't think there's any other number that can multiply together that will give us 2 times, just 2 times 1. And now we have to look for two numbers that we can add up together that will give us minus 4x. minus 4x. So if it was minus 3x, it would have been better. So in this case, I will have to use quadratic formula, but I don't want to use quadratic formula. So let me just tweak the question a little bit. Okay. I'm going to change the question a little bit. So I can make this, I can make this to be um let me make this to be minus 6. 4x minus 6. Let me make it be minus 6. Let me see if it will be much better. Okay, so if I make it be minus 6, so it will be minus 2 plus 6. Okay. The reason why I'm doing it this way, I don't want to use quadratic formula again. I want to just factorize it completely. So minus 2 plus 6 will give us plus 4. Okay. So now the product is a times c, that's 4x squared, and the sum, let me make this 3x minus 6. So I can make this minus 3x. Okay, I think it still works. Minus 4x, sorry. So minus 4x still works. Okay. So if I make it, so the sum is minus 4x. Okay. So if I do it, let me make it 3x, because if I don't make it 3x, I'm going to end up using quadratic formula, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. Minus 3x plus 4. So the sum is minus 3x, sorry. Okay. So I'm looking for two numbers that if I add it, if I multiply those two numbers together, I should get plus 4x squared, and if I sum it up, I should get minus 3x. So in this case, if I do minus 4x and okay, I think minus 5 is better. Sorry for the disturbance, just changing figures all over the place. So minus 5x, man. Because these questions, I generated these questions myself, so I wouldn't know if the questions will lead to a quadratic formula, or it just leads to me just easily factorizing it. Now, if I do it this way, now I have x squared minus x minus 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. So x is common, x. So if I use x, that will be x minus 1. If I use minus 4, minus 4x divided by minus 4 is x, plus 4 divided by minus 4 is minus 1, is equal to 0. Okay. So that will be x minus 4 is equals to 0, or x minus 1 is equals to 0. So that will be x is equals to 4 or 1. Okay. So that's it for that question. That's it for that question. Okay. So now that I've done logarithm, now I want to do surd. Okay. I want to touch surd. I know I know I don't know if I treated sword before. I have sword. I did a video on sword on my YouTube channel like some months ago. So I would like to, I don't, because I know sword is a topic that is related to grade 10 to 12 students. But before I go doing sword, I want to go to the chat box. I want to see if there's anybody who left anything in the chat box for me. Okay, somebody asked, Mrs. Esther asked, "Good evening, ma." Yes, grade 1 can join too. Yes, grade 1 can join. And once your daughter in grade 1 join, please let me know, ma, or so that I can switch the content to whatever grade of student I am having. Because I like anytime I have audience, I like to switch the topics to what grade my viewers are in. So if Miss Esther, if you can put your daughter is in grade 1, if she's live right now, you can just give me a thumbs up on the chat box if she's live right now. I didn't see the chat all this while. I don't know if the chat has been on for a while, but she can join. She's free to join. Okay, so I'm going to share my whiteboard again, And then if I see that she's joined already, I'll change the topic I'm teaching. So right now I'm going to be dealing with swords. Okay. And sword has to do with mainly has to do with rational numbers. And first of all, I'm going to be starting with like simple sword. For example, let's say we have root 20, root 12. Okay. So like I said, sword has to do with rational numbers. So for example, let's say I have root 12. Okay. Root 12. And the thing about sword is that whenever you're having a rational number like this, you are trying to break it down in a way that you want to multiply two numbers that one of the number is a perfect square root and the other one is not a perfect square. Okay. So for example, for root 12 now, I can do there are different factors of to root 12. 1 times 12 will give me root 12. Okay. 2 times 6 will give me root 12. 3 times 4 will give me root 12. Okay. I think that's all. But if I put 1 times 12, I wouldn't see anything. I wouldn't there's no square root that okay. 1 is a standard number. Anybody can get the square root of 1. The square root of 1 is 1, but that's not what we're looking for. But we cannot get the perfect square root of 12. Okay, there's no the perfect square root. 2 does not have a perfect square root. 6 does not have a perfect square root. 3 does not have a perfect square root, but 4 has a perfect square root. Okay, so now I can write it as the square root of 4 times 3. Okay, and the square root of 4 is 2, right? So that would be 2 times root 3. So if I do 2 times root 3, will give us 2 root 3. Okay, so that's what you get for the square root of 12. So that's the answer is 2 root 3. Number 2, we have root 50. Okay. And if we have to write the factors of root 50, we can write 1 times 50. We can write 2 times 25. That 4 cannot go in 50. We can write 5 times 10. We can write mm, what okay. I will stop there. Okay. We cannot find the perfect square root of 50. Okay, we cannot find the perfect square root of 1. We cannot find the perfect square root of 2, but we can find the perfect square root of 25. We can't find 5 does not have a perfect square root. 10 does not have a perfect square root. So now in this case, we are going to pick 2 times 25. So we can be it will be root 2 times 25. And the square root of 25 is 5, right? So that will be root 2 times 5. So in this case, the answer will be 5 root 2. Okay. So let's say we go to number 3. Number 3, we can do the square root of 48. Okay. Square root of 48. So now let's find the factors of 48. So the factors of 48, we can do 1 times 48. We can do 2 times 24. We can do I believe 3 times 16 will give us 48. Okay. Okay, 3 times 16 will give us 48. We can do 4 times 12 will give us 48. Okay. 6 times 8, it will give us 48. Okay. But when we look at the numbers that have the perfect square root, 1 is a standard number, like I told you. 48 does not have a perfect square root. 2 does not have a perfect square root. 24 does not have a perfect square root. 3 does not have a perfect square root. 16 has a perfect square root. 4 4 has a perfect square root, but we always like to go for the bigger number that has a perfect square root. Okay, that's why I'm not using 4 and 12 in this case. So 6 does not have a perfect square root and 8 does not have a perfect square root. So now in this case, it will be 3 times 16. It will be the square root of 3 times 16 in this case. Okay, so now that we have the square root of 3 times 16, we don't know the square root of 3. Okay, so that will be root 3. The square root of 16 is 4. So that will be root 3 times 4. Okay, so in this case, it will be equal, the answer will be 4 root 3. 4 root 3. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the chat box. I want to see if Mr. Lani already was able to hear me what I was saying. Okay, I don't know if she's still live, so I'm just going to type her and I'm just going to reply to her chat that grade 1 is invited to. Yeah, sorry. So grade 1 can join too. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the live. I'm going to share my screen back again. I'm going to share my screen back again. I just wanted to reply to that. Okay. So let me go to my notes. Okay. And I believe we should be able to see the screen now. If you can see the screen, just give me a thumbs up. Okay. So okay. So now let me do another one. Let me do root 75. The square root of 20. Let me do the square root of 27. The square root of 27. Then I will do the square root of 75 somewhere. Let me just keep it somewhere else. Okay. So now let's find the factors of 27. So the factor of 27, we can do 1 times 27. 2 cannot go in 27, so it will be 3 times 9 is 27. 4 cannot go, 5 cannot go, 6 will not go. So we just have all these are all the factors for 27. So if we do this one and this one, this is what we're looking for. So 3, it does not have a perfect square root, but 9 has a perfect square root. Okay, so that will do 3 times 9. Okay, so now we don't know the square root of 3. The square root of 9 is 3. Okay, so if we write it well in the proper way, it should be 3 root 3. Okay, that's how to write it in short form for root 27. So another one I will do is root 75. Okay, root 75. So let's write out the factors of 75. 1 times 75. 2 cannot go in 75. I think 3 should go in 75. 75 divided by 3, I think it should be 19. Yeah? I mean, 2. Okay. No, 25, sorry. So it will be 3 times 25 will give us 75. 4 would not go. 5 times 15 will give us 75. Which one again? 6 would not go. Okay. 6 would not go. So 6 will not go. How about 7? 7 7 will not go. So I think these are all the factors of 75. Okay, these are all the factors of 75. So these are the two we are looking for. So there's no perfect square root for 3. There's a perfect square root for 25. There's no perfect square root for 5. There's no perfect square root of 15. So therefore, this is the one we are going to be using. So that will be the square root of 3 times 25. Okay. So that will be square root of 3. Now the square root of 25 is 5. So in this case, we'll write it as 5 root 3. Okay, 5 root 3. Okay. So now I'm going to be talking about conjugate sort now. So conjugate sort. Let's talk about conjugate sort. Let's talk about conjugate sort. Okay. So we're talking about conjugate sort now. For example, let's say we have root A minus root B. Okay. The conjugate sort will be root A plus root B. The only thing unique about conjugate sort is that the sign, if it is negative, it will turn to positive. If it is positive, it will turn to negative. Okay. So I want to look for sorry. I want to look for some exercises I can do on sword. Just give me a moment. Okay. So now, for example, let's say we are given. Where I'm coming. I know I'm just a little bit all over the place. Okay. So now, example, if we are given um 3 all over root 5 minus 2. Okay. So now we are going to multiply by the conjugate sort. And most of the time, we multiply by the denominator. This is 3 is the numerator, root 5 minus 2 is the denominator. So we always multiply with the conjugate sort of the denominator. Okay, so in this case, it will be times root 5 plus 2 all over root 5 plus 2. Okay, so that's what we have right now. So let's multiply through. So now we have 3 into root 5 plus 2. Okay, so now let's multiply by this side now. Root 5 times root 5 is root 25. Okay, root 5 times plus 2 is plus 2 root 5. Minus 2 times root 5 is minus 2 root 5. Minus 2 times plus 2 is minus 4. Okay, so I want to open this one now. 3 times root 5 is 3 root 5. 3 times plus 2 is plus 6. Okay, root 25 is 5. Plus 2 root 5 minus 2 root 5 will cross out each other, minus 4. Okay, so that will be 3 root 5 plus 6 over 1. Okay, so the final answer will be 3 root 5 plus 6. Okay, so another example we can do is root 6 over 2 minus root, let me use root 3. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to multiply by the conjugate sort of the denominator. So that will be times 2 plus root 2 over 2 plus root 3. Sorry, 2 plus root 3 over 2 plus root 3. Sorry. So that will be equals to root 6 into 2 plus root 3 all over 2 into 2 plus root 3 minus root 3 into 2 plus root 3. Okay, so now let's open this bracket. So root 6 times 2 will be equals to 2 root 6 plus root 6 times root 3 will be root 18. Okay, 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times root 3 is plus 2 root 3. Okay, minus root 3 times 2 is minus 2 root 3. Minus root 3 times plus root 3 is minus root 9. Okay, so in this case we have is equals to 2 root 6 plus root 18. So root 18 can be broken down into root 2 times 9. 2 times 9 will give 18. We can find its private square root of 9. So we have 4 plus 2 root 3 minus 2 root 3 minus root 9. So 2 plus 2 root 3 will cancel minus 2 root 3. And we have 4 minus root 9 is the square root of 9 is 3. So that will be 4 minus 3. Okay. So now that will be equals to 2 root 6 plus now if we break it down, that will be 3 root 2. Sorry, my bad. So 4 minus 3 is 1. Okay. So in this case, therefore, we say that the answer is equals to 2 root 6 plus 3 root 2. Okay, so that's the answer for this question. So now let me do something that's a little bit different from what I've been doing. I want to do something that's a little bit different now. Okay, a little more complicated. So we have 3 plus root 2 over 2 minus root 5. Okay, 2 minus root 5. So the conjugate of 2 minus root 5 will be 2 plus root 5 divided by 2 plus root 5. Okay, so now I'll take it like this: 3 into 2 plus root 5 plus root 2 into 2 plus root 5. Okay, and then that will be 2 into 2 plus root 5 minus root 5 into 2 plus root 5. Okay, so in this case, I'll use 3 to open the bracket. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times plus root 5 is plus 3 root 5. Okay, plus root 2 times 2 is plus 2 root 2. Root 2 times root 5 is plus root 10. Okay, and then we have 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times plus root 5 is plus 2 root 5. Minus root 5 times 2 is minus 2 root 5. Minus root 5 times plus root 5 is minus root 25. Okay, so in this case we have 6 plus 3 root 5. So there's no one here that has the same root. So all of them, they are all in. So now we can write that 6 plus 3 root 5 plus 2 root 2, okay, plus root 10. Okay, all over 2 root 5 we cancel minus 2 root 5. So now before minus root 25, the square root of 25 is 5. Okay, so that will be is equals to 6 plus 3 root 5 plus 2 root 2 plus root 10 divided by minus 1. Okay, so if we use minus 1 to multiply all through, we all have negative. But I don't like to put negative in my numbers like this. So in this case, let me rearrange it. I can rearrange it as minus root 10 minus 3 root 5 minus 2 root 2 minus 6. So that will be the final answer. Okay. So I want to try another one. Let me try another one. So the next one, let me make the next one to be root 3 plus root 6 all over root 3 minus root 2. Okay. Okay. So let's multiply by root 3. Sorry, okay. So root 3 plus root 2 over root 3 plus root 2. Okay. Root 3 plus root 2 or divided by root 3 plus root 2. Sorry, I'm coming. I'm just going to stop sharing and then I want to do something real quick before I continue. I'm going to stop sharing. Let me go back. So let me just go back to sharing my screen. Sorry. I don't know. Oh, look like my screen is blank. Okay. So I believe everyone should be able to see my screen now. Okay. So now I'm going to now do this one. This one is a little more complex than the ones I've been solving earlier. So now I'm going to use root 3 into root 3 plus root 2 plus root 6 into root 3 plus root 2 divided by root 3 into root 3 plus root 2 minus root 2 into root 3 plus root 2. Okay, so now we use let me use root 3 to open this first bracket. So root 3 times root 3 will give us root 9 plus root 3 times root 2 will give us root 6. Okay, plus root 6 times root 3 will give us root 18 plus root 6 times root 2 will give us plus root 12 all over. Root 3 times root 3 will give us root 9. Root 3 times root 2 will give us plus root 6. Minus root 2 times root 3 will give us minus root 6. Minus root 2 times plus root 2 will give me minus root 4. Okay, so now let's break it down. Root 9 is 3 plus root 6 plus root 18. We can do 2 times 9 is 18. Okay, plus root 12. We can do 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, root 9 is 3 plus this root 6 will cross out each other. That will be 0 minus the square root of 4 is 2. Okay, so that will be 3 plus root 6 plus 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3. Okay, all over 1. Sorry, divided by 1. Okay, so now we have, now I want to write out all the ones that are root first, then I'll do the one that are whole numbers, I'll write it behind. So I can write as root 6 plus 2 root 3 plus 3 root 2 plus 3. Okay, so this will be our final answer. Okay, this will be our final answer. So I want to try something that's a little more different. I want to solve another sword question that's a little more different. Okay, now let me solve something that's a little more different now. So another one is 3 plus root 2 all squared. Okay, 3 plus root 2 all squared minus 3 minus root 2 all squared all over 2 root 2. So this one is a different question now. So what I would do in this case, I will do each of them separately. Okay, so I'm going to start with I'm going to start with 3 plus root 2 all squared. Okay, so if I'm to do 3 plus root 2 all squared, that will be 3 plus root 2 times 3 plus root 2. Okay, 3 times 3, 3 times root 2 times 3, root 2 times root 2. Okay, so 3 times 3 is 9, plus 3 times root 2 is plus 3 root 2, plus root 2 times 3 is plus 3 root 2, root 2 times root 2 is root 4. Okay, so that will be 9 plus, now anything that have the same root, you add it up. So 3 plus root 2 plus 3 and 3 plus root 2 will give us plus 6 root 2. Then the square root of 4 is 2. Okay, so that will be 9 plus 2 is 11. So that will be 11 plus 6 root 2. Okay, so that's the first part of the question. So now let's do 3 minus root 2 all squared. So 3 minus root 2 all squared, that will be 3 minus root 2 into 3 minus root 2. Okay, so 3 times 3, 3 times minus root 2, and then minus 2 root 3, and then minus 2 times minus root 2. So now let's do 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times minus root 2 is minus 2 root 3. Minus root 2 times 3 is minus 3 root 2. Minus root 2 times minus root 2 is minus root 4. Okay? So now let's Let's get it on. Sorry, no, this one should be minus 3 root 2. Minus 3 root 2. Okay. So now it goes to 9. Minus 3 root 2, minus 3 root 2, minus 6 root 2. Then the square root of 4 is 2. Okay. Sorry, minus root 2 times minus root 2 should be plus root 4. So the square root of 4 is plus 2 now. That's my mistake. Okay. So 9 plus 2 will give us 11 minus 6 root 2. Okay. So now we're now going to combine it now. Okay. So that will be now, therefore, that will be 11 plus 6 root 2 minus into 11 minus 6 root 2, okay, divided by 2 root 2. So now let's use this minus to open this. That'll be 11 plus 6 root 2 minus 11 plus 6 root 2 divided by 2 root 2. Okay, so 11 minus 11, this will cross each other, this will be 0. So now 6 plus 6 is 12. So that'll be 12 root 2 divided by 2 root 2. Okay, so now like I would have crossed out it like this, but when it comes to rationals, I don't like to work that way. I like to break it down a little bit more. So I can now multiply by 2 root 2 by 2 root 2. Okay, because this is the principle that sort works with. Okay, so 12 times 2 will give us 24. Root 2 times root 2 will give us root 4. Okay, 2 times 2 is 4. Root 2 times root 2 is root 4. Okay, so now that will be equals to the square root of root 4. The square root of 4 is 2. 24 times 2 over 4 times 2. These two will cross at each other. So we have 24 divided by 4. 24 divided by 4 will give us 6. So the final answer for this question is 6. Okay. So therefore, we can say that 3 plus root 2 all squared minus into 3 minus root 2 all squared over 2 root 2 will give us 6. The final answer is 6. Okay. So that will be all for this live stream. And I hope we enjoy the live stream. I hope we I was expecting a lot of people to drop their question in the chat box, but it seems like there was not too many people who had questions or to deal with them for their assignment. But I really appreciate everyone who came on the live stream. I can see my friend Michael. I believe my friend Michael is on the live stream. So if Michael can say hi to us on the live stream, I will appreciate that. You can just say hi, or you can just send a like on the chat box. So I appreciate everyone joining the live stream, and I hope that we're able to learn one or two things. And for those who have done sort before and who have done log reading before, I hope we're able to refresh our memory on those topics. And I thank everybody for joining the live stream. Thank you, everyone. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you share the videos to other people. Make sure you let them know about the live stream Monday and Wednesday from 5 to 6. And I want those who are not yet subscribed to subscribe to the channel. Thank you and peace out. Bye.